Welcome back, folks, to the Print Files at PacPrint, streaming live from the PacPrint exhibition floor. My name's Grant McCarran, and I'm joined by Kieran May from Across Sustainable Services. And Kieran, you're here to talk with us about the PVCA's Sustainable Print Program.
I am. In fact, Grant, I'm here to talk about sustainability in general.
Fantastic. It's one of the buzzwords that we've got and one of the things that's on the front of everyone's mind here at the show. Many stands, many people all very concerned about this whole sustainability aspect.
They are, Grant, and I guess the focus of where I work and where I want to go is to help people understand that sustainability is quite different to what they think it is. And a show like PacPrint really highlights how many different opinions there are about what is sustainable, what sustainability really means, and how that mixes quite sadly sometimes with the word green.
Yes, and the dreaded greenwashing.
Yeah, and you know, I suppose my experience tells me that there's no one answer, and number two, that sustainability can be what anybody wants it to be. And when we talk about, for example, sustainable green print, do people really understand what that means?
I suspect not.
Clearly they don't. And therein lies the challenge for organisations such as Sustainable Green Print, is to, number one, develop a meaningful program for certification, two, to make it accessible, three, to make it affordable, but four, and most importantly, is to make it work for the certified members, and then finally to help them understand how they need to tell that story to their customers, because after all, it's the customers who are making the demands. And that those demands might shift. Tomorrow's a little bit different. It's another day.
Everyone's evolving and changing.
So customers, community, it's probably going to shareholder activism. It's going to employee satisfaction and dissatisfaction. It's around things like wage theft and a whole range of other ethical issues start to come into the equation.
Wow.
And why is that? As I said before, it's because that's what the customers are, and consumers and communities are more and more demanding.
Yeah, because, I mean, to have a sustainable entity, you can't be sustainable, you can't be green and all that if you've got no employees because they don't want to work for you.
Exactly.
All those kind of things. So.
And you can't be sustainable if you're not making a profit.
Definitely very important there.
And again, you won't make a profit if you don't have customers.
Because you've got to be able to show your customers, and also you've got to be able to educate the community so they don't look at you as another polluter.
Exactly. So if we look at the old recycle logo, the circular arrows, that's what sustainability is all about. It all goes around in circles. It's all interdependent. And if we don't take a dispassionate, sit back, look at it as a whole of business problem, then we're likely to miss the boat. And at the same time, we need to be flexible enough to understand that what we're doing today doesn't necessarily mean it's what we're going to do tomorrow.
And again, it's those little steps working your way towards the bigger picture.
Little steps is right. And you know, I guess if you roll back to some of what we've just discussed, people are starting to think, this is complicated. This is complex. This is all too hard for me. Interesting thing in the printing industry, that most of what we talk about in sustainable green print has already been adopted progressively over the last 20 years, since we started talking about recycled papers, since we started talking about eliminating volatile organics, since we went waterless with plate processing, for example. There's a whole range of things that the printing industry has done, yet we still have difficulty in convincing the general public that print is a sustainable alternative and not the dirty, filthy industry that was probably true of it in the 1960s.
It's you remember the 60s, 70s, the printers with the ink always on their hands and having to wear masks and so on, and hearing protection. And now you look at the print floors now, completely different.
Absolutely, I mean, you know, you talk about wearing masks, and that was due to the volatile organics, which we all know now was pretty damaging for those who suck it in.
Yeah.
And you'd be hard pressed today to find any printing ink in the country that isn't made from a vegetable based oil.
Yep.
No volatile organics at all.
Yep.
So, but do our audience know that?
Many don't.
No. So that leads into what we talk about at Sustainable Green Print. One of our key points is to tell your story.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's a bit of a mouthful, it's the Sustainable Green Print saying to our printers, hey, you tell your story to your customers, so that in turn they can tell their story of sustainability to the people who they provide the printed brochure to.
Yep. Or the people who are thinking, how am I going to get my message out? And thinking I need to be green.
Yep.
And overlooking print for exactly what we've just been discussing.
Yeah. And it sort of rolls on then to the other mantra that we like to share is that, print leaves a lasting impression. And if you sit that alongside the digital world, where your advertising message is a fleeting passing image on a Facebook or a TikTok feed, that 5 minutes later is superimposed with another 5-second message from somebody altogether different. Now, who can remember what the one was before or the one before that? Still with a bit of paper, sustainably printed, sustainable substrate. It's on the desk, or it might be in the bin, but hey, it's still there.
Yeah.
And it's, look, what did he say?
I'll just get that.
I'll just get that out of the bin and I'll unwrap it. So there's a story to be told, and of course we're not good at it as an industry. And we should be, because after all, we are in the communications game. So it's a matter, we need to tell our story, and we tell our story again and again and again. And as we need to, as we improve, we change that story a little bit.
Well, I mean, it makes business sense to cut down on waste, to reduce toxic environment things, not just for the planet, but for your employees. So you reduce your insurance bills and so on, and for your profit line, because if you're not throwing away as much, your margins increase.
Absolutely. And that's been proven over the years. And don't ask me to give you some statistics, because I don't think statistics actually help, other than to demonstrate to people who love numbers that things have improved. But at the end of the day, I think our manufacturing printers and our retail printers all know that if they take care and reduce the amount of paper, for example, that goes to landfill or even to recycling, saves them money.
Yeah, exactly.
So sustainability in that perspective becomes a business process, and essentially a profit-making centre. We don't like to have to do 400 sheets as a make ready anymore. So one of our main considerations to buy a new printing press would be, do I buy the press that requires 400 make ready sheets, or the one that requires 50?
Or the one that requires none because it just runs.
Well, yes, exactly. So
they're getting closer to that.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's a part of business today. Yet again, our customers don't know that, because we don't tell our story. And tell our story we must.
Indeed. So, is there anything else you want to touch on while we're here chatting?
Yeah, just quickly on the, and it does relate to the sustainability, just to expand a little bit on things beyond the environment, is that our customers are demanding our supply chains are all clean and don't smell. We don't have slave labour in the line. We pay our employees properly. We don't have time theft. We don't do the wrong thing. We look after our employees' health. So all those things add up to business sustainability. And the more we can look after our employees properly, the more productive they'll be. The greater our profits. And the longer our business will last as a viable, sustainable entity.
Because you're going to retain your employees. You'll keep that business knowledge, and you don't have to retrain new ones because you've got a bunch of happy people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a big story, and I'd love to talk to anybody in the printing industry in particular to help them improve their game, with or without sustainable green print certification. And I'd love to be able to help them tell their story.
Well, Kieran May, thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about business sustainability and environmental sustainability and how they're all part of the big sustainable picture.
Absolute pleasure, Grant. Thank you very much.
Mate, it's been great to have you on the show. And of course, it's been great to have people listening to us. You're listening to the Print Files at PacPrint, streaming live from the PacPrint exhibition floor and sponsored by Ball and Doggett. We'll be back soon with another live interview, so stay tuned to this channel.